Hey folks, welcome to Weekend Technical Analysis Update by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. This Weekend Technical Analysis Update is for Monday, November 16th through Friday, November 20th, 2009. Well folks, an interesting week last week. What I'm showing you here is the chart of the spiders in relation to the 60-minute chart on the SPY. Now the SPY mirrors the S&P almost identically. Overall, what you need to be watching here is the key levels that I'm going to reveal in this video. Alright, this will tell you why the accuracy of In the Money Stocks when it comes to levels and educating is so immaculate and correct in regards to what you need to be watching for the next down move, the next up move, whichever way the markets go. Now, number one, the big one you have to watch is the Great Wall of China. The Great Wall of China we gave to our premium subscribers twice now as a key level, and each time the short has worked out beautifully off of it. The last time just over here on the 11th and 12th, which was Wednesday and Thursday, when we pierced that level beautifully, you can see the Great Wall with this X through it. This is the Great Wall of China, what we coined to be that Great Wall of China. Now again, notice the last time what you did, you pierced it, reversed, pierced it on the 12th, reversed, and look at the sell-off that took place, and then Friday we had a little bit of a bounce back. Now the interesting thing about it is the market continues to be very driven by light volume or heavy volume. Light volume, the market floats up. Right here you can see it. Look at the float up on the volume here. Look at how little volume down here on the float up. Look at back here when the market was falling. Look at all the heavy volume over here on the 60-minute. I could show you the daily as well, but technically we leave that for our premium subscribers in the Research Center. And again, you want to be in that Research Center this week. We are going to reveal some key things this week in that Research Center nightly videos throughout the week that will tell you where to position yourself for the coming week and the coming month into December based off of what we see in the charts, what the charts are telling us. So again, you do want to be involved in that Research Center, or again, you could join the chat room, which is always available. Okay, now again, the Great Wall of China hit beautifully here. That's where we got some shorts off already in the money very nicely on that. That's a nice little shorting opportunity. Great Wall of China top hit at 110.34. Right there, boom, pulls back, pushes up again, pulls back the next day and into a hard sell on Thursday. Then we have a light volume bounce back on Friday. Now the intraday 10-minute is what I'm going to go for. Now you had the markets up basically 2.5% this week. Last week they were up that much as well, but where are they going this week? That all depends on the master levels, folks. The way we've been able to develop our methodology basically tells you exactly where the markets are going to go based on confirmation. Those of you in the Research Center, you know what I'm talking about. Confirmation. If you get confirmation, the market's going in that direction. If you don't, technically it reverses and goes back one way or the other, which way it doesn't confirm. And again, we've proven that left and right in the daily chart, daily analysis videos every night in the Research Center as well as in the chat room. Now again, what you saw here on Friday, the market's opening slightly higher, selling a little bit, then bouncing back higher, and then selling into the afternoon before a little light volume pop into the close. Now the interesting thing about this week, folks, again, was the volume, the Great Wall of China, also the dollar. The dollar continues to be pummeled left and right, and I mean it's just getting slaughtered. Anytime you have a move up in the dollar, the markets get crushed. Anytime the dollar moves down, the markets are rallying. Now the interesting thing that I brought to the attention of the premium subscribers last week was that when the dollar rallies, the market's getting hit harder and harder, but when the dollar falls, it's getting hit less and less. It's still pushing the markets up, but you're not seeing the same reaction. You're not seeing the same bang for your buck there, and I do intend to make that pun, bang for your buck, out of the dollar falling, which is a kind of an interesting signal, and it is something that is calculated into our projections for next week that you need to be ready for and ready to analyze them in terms of where you're going to position yourself next week. Now, Thursday was a very interesting day because initially you got a pop up and you went right into this trend line. I want to show you this trend line. See this upper green line, this slanted green line, how it connects through the Thursday's high and Friday's high right there. If you go back there, that's one of the key levels that alerted us to the possibility that that would be a top in the market, because you go back to the 11th, there's the top right there. Then you scan to the 12th right here, there's your top, and all the way to the on Friday to the top right there. See that level? That's going to be a key trend line. You want to see if you get through that next week. That's going to be a one line where if you get through that, you should go test the 110.85 level on this market if you do pierce it. Then again, we'll be watching to see where the market closes, whether or not the market moves one way or the other based on a close and confirmation. As I said, guys, confirmation, if there's one thing you need to learn, it's understanding confirmation. It's basically how the hedge funds and the money managers and the institutions are able to take your money so easily and reverse you out of a trade is based on knowing and not knowing confirmation. Institutions understand confirmation. Individual investors investors generally do not. We bring you the light. We show you the light. We want you to understand how not to get fooled on positions, how to understand how to use the discipline correctly, how to be disciplined. And again, we do continue to teach that very nicely and well in our Research Center videos. Now, again, let's go back to the 60-minute. I want to talk a little bit more about the 60-minute. This market's an interesting market in the near term. Why? Because in a technical sense, you have a little bit of an M top here. Look at this, folks. Here going over to October. If you go back into October, you have a beautiful move up. Look at this. You're moving all the way up into that Great Wall of China. There it is. So here you move up, then you come back down. There's your move down. Then technically you can take that and move it back up. You make a higher high, which I love, and you've started to come down. So next week, what I want you watching for is whether or not we continue to form this M top. An M top could be a very bearish signal. Possibly if we sell off, then you'd look for the A bounce and then possibly a future rollover. Now the question is, how long does that take to happen? I mean, that's really the essence of it. How to position yourselves when you know the A is coming. When does the bottom of the M for the A bounce coming? You need to be able to position yourselves accordingly. Now again, as I say, guys, we analyze all time frames, all stocks, ETFs, you name it. We can go over everything in the chat room. That's what we do. You want to be on board for that. It is the most amazing learning experience you will ever have in the markets. You will take more away from that chat room than I would say in thousands and tens of thousands of webinars that you could spend in dollar amounts out there just in a chat room. $199 a month. And again, even if you pop in for an hour a day, half an hour a day, think about in terms of consulting hours. Again, we charge $400 for an hour of consulting. You can have it really for $199 in the chat room. And even if you show up for half an hour a day, you still get, think about 20 training days a month. That's 10 hours for $199 where you ask questions, we answer, we analyze the markets, we call out plays, we call out trades, you make profits. Again, our ratio in general is 8 to 9 winners out of every 10 in the chat room as well as in our calls. That is how we become accurate. And again, you can see the Great Wall of China calls. Again, the last call that went out to go short, folks, in a major way was right back here. Look at the fall that happened all the way down, right down here. Beautiful fall right there. Then again, we knew the master level right here at 104. Master level at 104, that tells us to take profits. And sure enough, what happens? You move right back up, and we were able to take a short right up here again, and look at the pullback you've had on that short. Again, all it is analyzing and understanding the technicals of the market based on our methodology. Our methodology is way different than everyone else's, folks. I'll tell you right now, asking you any one of our subscribers that are with us, we don't look at stochastics. We don't look at MACD. We throw that right out the window. We focus on the nitty-gritty and teach you the real stuff of the market. We take out that Wall Street nonsense and hype and teach you how it really is on Wall Street to position yourselves with the institutions. All right? So that's where we are. Let's look into next week. What do you need to know for next week, folks? Because that's really what we want to know, right? Well, you want to continue to follow whether or not you're having an M top. That will be a key analysis point of view, whether or not you have an M top in place. If you do continue to come down, you need to be aware of the master levels. That's for our premium subscribers, so you need to join up so you know what to look for, whether or not we confirm, whether or not we don't confirm. That's all key stuff. Next week, we have a ton of economic news. Last week, we had almost no economic news. You had jobless claims, obviously, initial claims, and then you had some inventory numbers and obviously some other odds and ends. But for the most part, it was a devoid week of any economic news. Next week, tons. Starting on Monday, retail sales, Empire Manufacturing, business inventories, Tuesday, CPI, PPI, you name it, it's coming down the chute next week. Be ready. It's going to be a wild week. This is when you need to be on point, folks. You're looking at a possibility of a significant move next week. Be ready for it. Be positioned correctly. Join the Research Center. Join the chat room. Be on board. Talk to you soon. Take care.